Hi, I'm Tana Castro. Tonight on Skyline Illustrated, this weekend retreat offers a beautiful country setting with homestyle cooking. The only catch? It's a country club for pets only. Tell me how enticing this weekend retreat sounds. Acres of rolling hills in the Culpeper countryside, several ponds for swimming, organized nature walks, homemade food, a salon, heated rooms, and soft music piped into your living area for relaxation. There is just one hitch. You're not allowed to stay. You can drop off your dog at any time. You heard us right. This country retreat is for pets only. Isn't that right, Jane?
Absolutely. And if there's anything we don't offer that we could, I want to know about it.
Jane Kelso runs the place, and here's what she set up. If a dog gets a bit cramped, it's time for a nature walk.
Come on. Nathan.
Good girl, Rhonda. Our nature walks are really important, especially to big dogs, although the small dogs really love them too. And any dog that gets excited or has a lot of extra energy or just needs exercise, it's a wonderful thing. We find that the dogs are much happier.
And speaking of keeping pets happy, check out their midnight snacks. Yes, Virginia, those are homemade dog biscuits. But if your pet prefers grooming over gourmet, head down the hall and see Sherry. She's the Vidal Sassoon of dog grooming.
The grooming shop is high entertainment value. That's where the cutest dogs, well, they come in looking a wreck. I mean, we live in the country, and even the dogs that get fancied up and so forth spend time outside. And some of them can come in looking like a mess, and they go out looking like little stuffed animals. It's magic to me. Grooming is not my specialty, so I'm just as amazed as the owners are when they see these little dogs come out.
And if your pet doesn't get enough attention in the grooming shop, there's always the old wood stove ploy.
We have a rule that anyone who comes in to warm up and sit down in front of the wood stove has to hold a cat, and it's not any painful duty, I can assure you.
And if your pet gets a bit homesick, parents are always allowed to bring along reminders of home.
We let people bring stuff from home if they want to. We kind of try to limit it a little bit. We draw the line at undergarments. Really, we had a big strapping Labrador come in, and the woman wanted to leave her nightgown so that he would have something to remember her by.
Jane assured us the nightgown-dependent dogs are quickly separated from the others.
We like to think that we have a really calm, relaxed atmosphere where dogs can unwind rather than get real stressed out. And we emphasize the fact that since we have a lot of space, we can provide exercise and get dogs out where they can really stretch their legs rather than being in and cramped and so forth. Some of the things that are associated with kenneling your dog just don't happen that way here.
And it's because of that professional commitment to animals that Jane draws customers like Jacqueline Austin to her Culpeper Canine Country Club.
Of course, what I have are show dogs that are also my beloved pets, and so it's important to me that I know the dogs are safe. I have a big investment both in money and in my heart. So I want them to be safe. I want them to be well cared for. The place is clean as a pin. When I moved to this area, I looked at a number of kennels before I decided what I was going to do. They not only are physically cared for, but they do get that extra pat, that extra smooch that helps them bear the stress of being away. And it is stressful for dogs to be away from home.
After over a decade in business, Jane still seems surprised at the response to her four-legged country spa.
Well, it's interesting to me that I've been able to structure my life so that what I really love to do is tax deductible.
But this tax-deductible country retreat was not the first career stop for Jane. Her roots are in Middleburg, Virginia, but her varied career path took her around the world. An English teacher in Mexico, a producer for Dutch television, a medical technician in Nassau, a goat dairy farmer in Connecticut. But all that was before she saw field trial dogs in action.
A friend of mine said, after hunting season one year, why don't you come to a field trial? And it would give you something to do the rest of the year with your hunting dogs. And I did, and I saw a dog do a blind retrieve, and it just blew me away, and I said, that's for me.
She traveled around the country running her dogs in trials, making them champions. But then the time came to settle down. Her kennel was then just a cornfield in Culpeper, but she saw promise here.
I love being outdoors and working closely in a partnership with animals, either horses or dogs or whatever is available. And
Good boy.
it's true that the dog operations has seemed
good.
really worthwhile to me as a way to make a living. I thought for years I would never be able to actually make a living. And you don't start out to be a dog trainer to make millions of dollars, of course, but I have been able to support myself and do what I really love to do.
Jane continues to coach friends who are training dogs for field trials, though it is no longer a big part of her business.
Good. All right, now why don't you stop her? Even though she's going, good, that's excellent. Now straight up left. Good, that just bumps her over a little bit, gets her a better line, and teaches her a little bit more obedience.
Good girl.
All right, good. That was
Sometimes she stops and goes the right way when I give her the hand signal.
well, when you're doing it straight up, there's always, and remember her momentum is down the hill. Everything is pushing her down the hill.
Right.
The wind, the slope, the fact that she's seen a throw over here, and so forth, is all going to push her down the hill. So you just have to take that into consideration. Good girl.
Belle Bradley and her 4-year-old black lab, Shaba, often turn to Jane for advice.
It's been very supportive for me to have Jane because, I'm trying to train, I'm an amateur, I'm trying to train the dog on my own. And I can come here, once a week or so and get some guidance and then go home and I'm kind of on my own, but I call for support, telephone support, and explain what might have happened. And she'll say, well, try this tomorrow. And so that's, it's been a very supportive relationship to me in training my dog.
Now call her to you and have her sit about halfway. Good. It's real important for dogs to understand that they can obey commands when they're not right next to you. And it's very difficult to get a dog to both come and stop away from you. Now call her in and finish her. Excellent.
Though you may not want to train your dog for competition, Jane advocates basic obedience training for all dogs.
Obedience is like learning to fit into society. I mean, for a dog, let's not kid ourselves. Dogs are not wild animals anymore. And they're family members. The most important thing that a dog can be is a companion and a good family member. And even dogs that are trained for specific uses, like to be hunting dogs or field trial dogs or herding dogs or whatever, that only comes from the relationship that they have with their handler. And in order to have a basis for that kind of relationship, a dog needs, if you want to call it obedience training or companionship training or whatever it is, a dog needs to know what's expected of him.
Jane is now highly involved in a new form of competition, agility events. This is to dogs what Grand Prix jumping is to horses.
Tunnel. That's it. Go walk. Easy. Easy. Go jump. Go tire. Go table. Woo! Good boy.
As she continues to pursue her dog training on the side, Jane's focus is firmly on the success of her canine country club.
We feel that animals deserve to have the best possible care, and they need to have people who know what they're doing, who also are. I actually met a man and his wife at a meeting one time who said that they had recently retired and they had kind of a nest egg, and they were really trying to decide whether they were going to buy a laundromat or have a boarding kennel. And I thought to myself, I sure hope they go for a laundromat.
Thank you.